I have lived a big chunk of my life with depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. But in 2015, I also realized I had something called complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Keep watching to find out how a TV show made me realize that something was terribly, terribly wrong. Hi, I'm Christine, the middle-aged fangirl. I have had depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And film and fandom are a big part of what keep me sane. I talk about how my favorite TV shows have helped me through tough times. I talk about the awesomeness of fandom, and I talk about mental health, because those things kept me alive, and maybe they can help you too. In 2015, I realized I had complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and it was a TV show that helped me figure that out. But first, a little background. One of the ways you can get complex post-traumatic stress disorder is by living with someone with a personality disorder. And I had lived with someone with undiagnosed obsessive-compulsive personality disorder for 30 years, which of course I didn't know at the time. In its most basic form, people with OCPD have to be in control of everything. Other people, their environment, because being in control reduces their stress level. Everything has to be done their way. I had to take inventory of my environment multiple times a day to make sure everything was in the place it was supposed to be. When we had people over for dinner, I had to be told what to put on the table, what normal people put on their dinner table. Salt, pepper, butter, condiments, because I couldn't be trusted to assume what normal people did, and that was the most important thing. Combined with my chronic self-loathing and depression, and the voices in my head telling me I was worthless, it created the perfect storm. My sense of self was broken. I spent every minute of every day questioning my own decisions. I was never abused, but I responded emotionally and mentally like I was. And of course, I thought the problem was me. So I couldn't really talk to anybody about it or blame anyone else. It was a Criminal Minds episode that helped me realize that something was seriously wrong and that I needed help. It's an episode from season 3 called The Crossing. Mary Margaret Hume plays a woman that just one day out of the blue picked up a shotgun and shot her husband. The prosecuting attorney wants to counter the defense's claim that she suffered from battered woman syndrome. So she calls in Hutch and Rossi to interview the woman.
Did Philip ever hit you?
Hit me?
Was he abusive?
No, never. Not even when I probably deserved. No, he was very patient with me.
Why did he need to be patient?
Well, are you kidding? Look at me. After Nathan was born, I completely let myself go. I'm fat. I'm a terrible housekeeper. I'm a terrible cook. No, believe me, I needed a husband with a lot of patience.
Audrey, Nathan tells us that you never attended any of his sports or school functions, that you were never there, not even once.
He's probably right.
Why didn't you?
Well, I was doing such a terrible job at home, I didn't want to embarrass my kids out in public, too.
Now here's the thing. I never experienced any kind of abuse. But I recognized myself in her expressions, in her mannerisms. I could tell what was going on in her mind. Am I allowed to feel anything? What should I be feeling? Should I have gone to the baseball games? Maybe I should have. I probably made the wrong decision, of course. The fact that I knew what was going on in her head and recognized her facial expressions from my own made me realize that something was seriously wrong. Hutch and Rossi concur that she had battered woman syndrome. And in their words, her life has been punishment enough. For weeks, I could not get that episode out of my head. If I identified so strongly with a woman who had been verbally abused, then there was something seriously wrong. I wish I could say that it had spurred me to action. Well, I guess I did as much action as I could do at the time. I was able to admit that something was wrong. Watch the whole episode if you get a chance. Watch all 12 seasons of Criminal Minds. They're all on Netflix. And that is a show that has changed my life for the better. So here's my question for you. Have you ever recognized yourself in a character on television? And if you did it give you some epiphany? Did it make you realize something you didn't know before? If this video has helped you even a teeny weeny little bit, please hit my little round face down here somewhere and subscribe. If you want to learn more about my journey from beginning to end and what TV shows shaped my healing, then check out a playlist called Movies and Shows That Changed My Life. And please share this on social media, especially with someone who you think might benefit from it, might be hurting, because film and fandom are good for the soul.